So even though we're joined today by Minhad, reason why he's here is because of his clout of getting into the Avengers London movie premiere and everything like that. So he's got many of the stories, he says, but I want to hear more about the story of following Johansson up the escalator.
Well, I first noticed everybody was running to that side out of the pen, like literally just running.
Right.
So I just followed them because when you see a crowd at a premiere, you want to follow. And then I turned around and I noticed like these two really symmetrical objects going up the escalators. At that point, I realized it was Scarlett Johansson, and I had a really good vantage point. So I was really happy.
Ultron is in the building.
This is me, but whatever it is. It's part of pop culture.
Alright, well. Here we are, even though our backgrounds keep changing here at the Essential Studios and everything like that, it's still Essential, and we have a new guest in the hot seat, because as we said last week that Bruce Frank is on his honeymoon, after, 2 or 3 long years of marriage, he's finally actually, maybe, I don't know, afforded a honeymoon.
I think he's a bigamist. I think he's different people, but don't quote me.
All right, I won't. So anyway, as a Fantastic Four unit, we like to have 4 people in the chair. So I'd like to welcome, Minhad Khan here, and when Minhad's been actually, one of the people that's been following us. We only have 3 people following us.
Female?
What?
Who's the female?
Who's the female?
Who's
the female in this group?
Not the new Bruce Jenner. No, sorry.
That's funny for him. So Minhad, right? So today our topic is going to be the Avengers. So we're going to first look at what's in our bag. So letting people in the audience who have not seen the Avengers yet, you might be in the States because it doesn't come out until next week, or you might just be one of those people who are diehard fans who went out like us to go see it as soon as possible, but like you, who saw it a week even before us. So we're letting you know that this is a spoiler show because we felt we were going to first do spoiler free, and now we just said, forget about it. So we only got 3 people watching anyway. So we put it on, and if that adds more people, oh wow, how could you ruin these damn Avengers for me? Well, you sure I said spoilers.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. A million people are going to watch this episode, and we're going to give away that thought that.
Yeah. So anyway, right? So Minhad. So before we go into the Avengers, because also you, as a special gift for people out there, you said you had some footage, so I might be able to put some of that footage on this podcast. Who never knows, right? So, but first, I had prepared stuff for my bag, right? So because for some reason it's not in my bag, we'll start with the new guy, right? Who actually watches the show. So he brought stuff from his bag, and it's different. And he's a stalker. He's already said that. Yeah, but so tell us.
Really good at it.
Yeah. Well, following Johansson up there.
I've never done it before. Seriously. Although you're in the garden.
Not your garden. So your lady garden. So anyway, go ahead. What's in your bag?
Well, I'm more into independent comics these days because I'm waiting till the big events are over before I go back into the superhero books again.
Yeah,
it seems kind of pointless for me right now.
Yeah, I get you. You don't care about the whole move to LA and everything like that, and what everybody's doing about it.
It doesn't really change my life.
Nah, not me either. But hey, what are you gonna do? So go ahead. What do you got?
All right, so
hold it up and stuff like that.
So the first book I've got here is Invisible Republic by Image Comics.
Right? Image.
Yeah.
I didn't even know Image is still existing.
Oh, yeah. Image is on a renaissance period right now.
Is it?
Really? Yeah, for the last 4 years.
For the last 4 years. So, but Liefeld not a part of it anymore.
Oh, no. Liefeld has, nothing.
Left the building.
Yeah, pretty much. So Invisible, because in the last 4 years,
No. We take a look at the books.
Oh.
I won't take it out of your plastic because it's still taped.
Yeah.
I mean, I've already been told, stop bending the book, so I can only look at it. So go ahead, what's it about?
Okay, this one's a sci-fi epic. Basically, this reporter is in this city that's just fallen apart. The regime of the entire city's gone down, and he finds like the journal of a secret kind of cousin of the last dictator of the city. So basically, he's reading through her story, cousin's story, about how he becomes from a local strongman into a dictator of the world, really, and then how it all fell apart. So I'm thinking this goes towards like Brian K. Vaughan's, ex-machina kind of stuff. So it goes more for the political kind of.
It's a dystopian future. Kind of like Blade Runner-ish.
Well, that's it. I mean, is it Ridley Scott is actually optioning the rights to make the movie, so like that Blade Runner connection, to the Invisible Republic, so like that kind of Blade Runner connection there, kind of,
Oh, I haven't. This is the first time I've heard of it, so you've heard of it as well. Then.
Yeah. I heard about the film and then I checked out the comics and I thought it's really good. It's like there's a grittiness to it that I think you're right that maybe is slightly lacking from bigger titles.
What's the idea of her being a cousin though? Is she his cousin?
No, she's his cousin, but nobody knows about her existence. So he now has the journal that's the secret history of this dictator.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's weird because usually it would be the daughter or the mother or the wife or the girlfriend, but cousin is just weird. I mean, unless they think that they could be like lovers, and then it's like, no, you're my cousin.
I think I'm not sure, but this is speculative. What I'm thinking is she might be the secret head behind him, or part of the revolutionary that brought down his regime.
Wow.
Also, I mean, Christian Bale as well. I just meant to say
he looks like Christian Bale.
Kind of based it on.
I can see that. I can see Christian Bale.
Yeah, you can see Christian Bale in that.
I've met Christian Bale. He's a nice guy.
Oh, God. I can see what they got
just throwing it in there.
Oh, come on, yeah. Since I don't have a book, you get another book to talk about.
Okay.
Christian Bale's nice if you don't.
And none of that fairy princess stuff, man. Turn that around. This is kind of like My Little Pony. Whatever. My Little Pony going on. Yeah, what are you, Brony?
Oh, yeah,
I know you don't
I
think
could talk about the dark version of Sabrina the Teenage
Witch. Right, yeah. Yes.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
I thought this was like a scroll because she's looking. They just got the scrolls. Everybody see that?
It's the what was your rival's name of the series? It's
Afterlife
Archie horror.
That's the zombie one.
Yeah, that's the next one.
Yeah. So this is Dark Sabrina and Madam Satan.
Yeah.
So what's going on?
Basically, it's I guess you just lots of gore, lots of witchcraft, lots of horror, and the art style has got that gothic theme to it as well too.
But it still has the Archie style panache.
No. That doesn't have the Archie style at all. It has the Archie characters, the settings, but it has like
a different artist.
It's a lot like something Charles Adams would have done with the Addams Family, that kind of thing. Pre-Tim Burton, you've got that kind of gothic quirkiness to it and stuff like that, and that's what it reminds me of the Addams Family strips from the New York Times, I think it was, wasn't it?
Oh, I think I've seen those,
yeah.
Yeah, right. So, Dark Sabrina, interesting. And, you got an Empire Uprising behind it, too, which looks like it's, not for kids. But
no, kids can read it.
Of course they could.
That's as bad as it gets.
Your kids when you have them with Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah. You and Scarlett with Christian Bale watching. Well, anyway, so that's all good. Well, thank you very much, Mahat. That's a whole different kind of strand of story that we're seeing. So Jamie usually likes to go last because he usually doesn't follow the remit of what's in your bag. He usually brings something that is ultra quiche or different. So what do you got now?
Well, I mean, it was my birthday it was April Fool's Day.
That's right. Happy birthday
Thank
to
you.
you.
And my friends got me some nice presents. This actually from the Disney store. Because Disney owned Marvel, so...
Oh, yeah, so there you go. That makes sense.
Get a lovely bag with this. But this book is just fantastic. It's 75 years of cover art, Marvel cover art, and because I'm a Hulk fan...
Classic.
Stipulated that they wanted the Hulk cover on the back and stuff. And you just look at it.
Who stipulated?
Oh, my friend when they bought me.
Well, you could choose what cover to put on?
Yeah, you could custom make what ones. And also...
That is mad cool.
Yeah, and he asked for Hulk and Spider-Man. You get some like sort of large reproductions of the covers of amazing fantasy
Are they signed?
Yeah, now but the serial number on it, because the unlimited number of them. And he wanted to get me a Hulk cover, but there wasn't any in the store. That was I ended up with Iron Man, who's like sort of me third on the pecking order.
Third on the pecking order, yeah.
Fantastic. And of course there's
the original Marvel Comics cover with the Human Torch in his original form, looking like a bad guy and everything.
I just
the
flashed
original
the back
Human
there.
Torch.
Yes, that's what I said.
And if you flash the back over there, Chase, it'll be.
I know, I did. It's got the Infinity Gauntlet on it.
Yeah. There you go.
Now, actually, Jackson, you take a look at that because you keep trying to tell me what color the Mind Stone and the stones are. So you look at that and everything. Menhad, what do you know about the stones?
The stone's practically nothing.
Thanks. Thanks for helping us out.
I thought Brown Sugar was a good record. Rolling Stones, I apologise.
You did that on purpose. Let me see for a second, Jackson. Only because let me see what I know. Right? So, but you tell us what you know, Jackson. Alright? So, by the colors, what stones do you think these are?
Well, that red one there. That's the Power Stone.
I thought the red one was the Time Stone.
No. The blue stone. That's the Mind Stone.
Yep. That was in the movie.
The one next to that, right there. Yeah, I think. I don't know. Wait, that one right there. The bottom. Yeah, that's the Soul Stone.
That is right. You are correct. Two of.
That one up there.
This one?
No, that one there.
This one?
That's the Reality Stone, I think.
Yeah.
And this one, that
This
paper one, I think it's the Space Stone.
And this was in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, and then that one, I think that was the Time Stone.
No, the red one is the Time Stone, which hasn't been in any of the movies yet, right? All right, so like what we got here is that like out of the stones, we all know where the Soul Stone is, don't we?
There.
No, yeah, I meant where is it in the movie?
Oh.
Where is the Soul Stone, Jamie?
Are they sticking with that? Like, is it true to the comic what they're going with, or have they changed
We think so because we've seen a possibility of where it is.
Yeah, well, it was Guardians of the Galaxy was.
But where in Guardians of the Galaxy is the stone?
The collector has it, doesn't it? But you mean where about?
Yes, in the cocoon.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Adam Warlock.
The glowing thing. Yeah.
You see the cocoon and at the end of Guardians. The Power Stone was what in the that's the one that they say the universe was. We saw now the Ether, which was in Thor, which was the Reality Stone because they just jumped from different dimensions, right? Now I think the Ether was actually the red stone in that movie, whatever. But in the comics, the red stone is the Time Stone, which we still have not seen. The blue stone, which is the Mind Stone, which is also the Cosmic Cube or the Tesseract.
Yeah.
Right? What else do we have? What other stone?
Well, have you
Guardians, Avengers. See, that's the problem. Avengers 2 is the same stone.
That's right, yeah. So
right, as Avengers 1. You know? So, I mean, like, and that doesn't give any spoiler away, but it's the same stone. But Thor... Dark World had the different stones, so that was the Ether, and so that's 3 stones. Any other? No, missing that there's a stone.
There's talk on the internet has been that in the Doctor Strange movie, it's going to be part of the Eye of Igamonti, was it?
Ah, the Eye, yeah.
And that's what the sort of the crux of that film is going to be, the struggle to get that.
Yeah. So, do you think that would be? Well, we already had the so-called. We had Space Stone. Do we have a Space Stone? Did I say Space Stone?
No, we haven't come to the Space Stone yet.
I said Reality Stone, right?
Reality Stone.
So so let's say Space Stone was Dark World because if you move from space to space, if it's going to be in Doctor Strange, he does an alternate dimensions, right? So he would more than likely have a Reality Stone in that one and everything. That would make more sense. Won't you agree?
I think so, yeah. It puts more logic to the idea, doesn't it?
Yeah. So now, last thing I'll say before we move on is the Time Stone is the only stone that's missing. But with Ant-Man coming out in the fall,
Yeah.
Right? Well, we have a two Ant-Man. So because we have two Ant-Men, right, we have Hank Pym, who will become a member of S.H.I.E.L.D., right? So we get Agent Carter again, and we get him in the 60s. So what more than likely could happen when they're going on missions is that they will be chasing a stone through time, right? That could probably lead to him creating the Pym particles, who knows? But the main thing about it would be is that that's a good way of going back and forth in time. I'm just saying because we haven't seen anybody doing it. And so if you got two characters in two different time periods, why not have the stone that is related to time, be involved in that? I mean, would that make any sense to you?
It does, yeah. And I think with Doctor Strange, they're going to start, well, they've already started with fantasy, with Thor, introducing it into the cinematic universe. This takes you onto the kind of the next level, and we see that maybe there's a bit of science behind it,
Well, yeah, but I mean, what I'm trying to say is like because we haven't seen time travel yet in the Marvel universe, so it's a good potential to have when you have two characters from two different time periods that you can have a stone that is I don't know somehow representative. Anyway,
before we move on, I have a question for you, Jackson. I put my music to give you this. The nice people at the Disney store, when I went in with me vouchers, what I got for it.
You're not giving them Masters of the Universe, are you?
Oh, no. Believe me, I would not do that shit.
Because you want it for yourself.
Well, yes. I hope this, of course, I could not be like...
Go.
There you go. They gave me this t-shirt, and I don't know whether it'll fit you, it's too big, but it's not something I wear suits, that kind of thing.
Yeah, you're a canard yank.
Yes.
That is really cool, though.
There you go. I thought you might like a Jackson, kind of.
It's the Hulk Jackson, so I mean, I think that's amazing. I think, thank you very much, Jamie. Rarely does one get a present here on The Essential.
Oh, no, you mean Jackson's big pal. He's
yeah, well, it's all good. So before we move into our main topic, let me just hit what was in my bag was Convergence, and also Convergence is a hot topic right now. Because a lot of people, like me and I was just saying, I mean, I just am not going to bother paying for that crap. But actually, I was part of one of the naysayers that didn't like Convergence because of Convergence Zero and the first issue. It's like, what the hell was that? And then the first couple of books that came out, the subsequent books that came out was a good waste of my money. But that being said, the second week of books are really awesome, which is why I'm upset that I didn't bring it because I had it in my bag prepared. I got Superboy and the Legion, Justice League International, Batman and the Outsiders, right? Both Teen Titans and everything, and both Flashes. Now, what it is the story is starting to unfold now that they're moving into their second week because it's like, even though it's still the same bit about, establishing that these heroes from these different, time dimensions. They are all living for a year in the bottle cities of Kandor, right? But the thing about it is that so they try to, in the first couple of pages, tell us what their year has been like. Whether they're accepting or denying their fate, so to speak. And then they all hear the same voice, supposedly at the same time. They're told to fight each other. And everything, and then by the time you get to the end of it, it's supposed to be special guest stars, right? Yeah. Two people that you never thought would see. It's kind of like the contest of champions spread out over different books. Now, I don't know how this is going to play out, because a lot of people were arguing. I'm on a fan site, I forgot to give it a shout out, right? History Comics.
Oh yeah, I'm
70s and the 80s. Yeah, well, amazing, isn't it? I mean, I love this site to death. But, somebody's asked a question. So why should I read Convergence? Right? Is it going to change, the dynamic and everything? And everybody relates it to the fact that it's not supposed to change. It's only supposed to be pretty much a book for us, who are diehard fans, and want to see our characters again. But the book is not doing it. It's kind of like they're giving us the Flashpoint characters like evil Aquaman, the evil Wonder Woman kind of thing. Yeah. And they're not actually telling the Silver Age stories that I want to see. They're not giving me an update of my characters. When they got Superboy and the Legion, right? The way the artist draws Superman or Superboy, I don't know who he's supposed to be.
Oh, well,
right?
that's a major problem, then, isn't it? If you
Yeah, I can't tell. And then Lightning Lass, I'm trying to get with him. Yo, Timberwolf's been going for a year. I'm feeling the beat. I swear to God, it's going on.
Superboy and the Legion was like the first comics I used to read in the 80s.
Yeah.
So that
endlessly
sounds
full,
weird.
just amazing.
It is very weird because he's like, Lightning Lass, what are you doing? And then as she comes close to kissing him, right, all of a sudden the bottles open up. And he goes, so Lightning Lass, I mean, about what just happened here. Oh, forget it, man. I got my powers now. Back off. I swear to God, what's going on? Who's writing this?
That's typical nerd who hasn't developed to the next level,
Don't understand. But it's not even my characters. Like, even Brainiac 5 is not the Brainiac 5 from, like, the 70s. I don't know which level of the Legion this is supposed to be. I don't know if this is Rich Donner's Legion. I don't know, like, who these characters are. I mean, in this world, like, Wildfire is dead, and, and Karate, it's supposed to be after Karate Kid died, but then I'm kind of like, well, I don't understand. It's just not what I expected, and JL Detroit. Like just Detroit. I'm thinking, hey, Cisco, he's badass in Flash, I mean, it's going to be good, right? And it's great to see, Ralph and Sue together, the elongated man and stuff like that. Yeah. And then they drop a building on him.
So,
So they just kill him off in the issue.
Yeah, no, they survive. in the end, but it's just kind of like, oh, is they going to survive? It's just stupid. It's what
that's why somebody who hasn't got a clue what to do. Just do anything, we'll make it work.
Yeah,
that kind of thing. But it lets down fans like yourself who are,
I just want to see my characters. I want to see like one more ride, guys. That kind of thing. One more adventure. And it was just kind of like, so I got sucked in and sucked out, and I'm like, kind of like. I should just read it. I don't know. I should just read it. But it hasn't been good. But I just wanted to say that about Convergence is that, like, will it change the dynamic of DC? Now, people have said that DC, because of 52, has been crap anyway. Mm-hmm. So anything to change it would be good. But I don't see yet how they're going to bring it all back together again. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's kind of like they got the last one I'll say, they got Flash, where it's after the trial. Remember, if you remember, after the trial, and he goes off into the 30th century with Iris. Right? And supposedly now the book picks up where he goes, so I came back to the 20th century for a Paralympic celebration, right? Which this was in the 70s, right? So, and all of a sudden, the dome happened. So now I've been trapped here for a year. Yeah, right. You know what I mean? And I'm trapped for my wife. And now, here I am working in Central City Lab with this, sexy forensic science assistant. And, I can tell she likes me, but I'm still thinking about my wife after a year. And
been a year. Why?
You know what? Why? Maybe I should give up thinking about my wife. Maybe I should just settle for where I am right about now.
That doesn't sound like Barry.
Yeah, exactly. And then all of a sudden, the door opens.
I think being the fastest one alive, you'd use that as a coordinate.
Yeah, well, how's she gonna know? But the point is that, as you could tell by these stories, it's like, what's these writers thinking? Everything is just kind of like a weird tangent, not where our heroes would have gone, where our Silver Age, dynamics were, and I don't get it. I don't get what they were trying to do. I mean, what is your opinion on what I just said there? I mean, does it make you think I want to buy these books, or?
No, I'm glad I stayed away from this book.
Oh, yeah.
I know exactly what you mean, Jason. I think it's kind of it's important with something like that, a series that's got devoted fans like yourself who've read reviews, to be entertaining but in the moment and not just, we'll just get by this and we'll explain. Do you know what I mean? It's good to sort of tell the story as it.
Yeah, it's good to be creative writers. I mean, you got Fabian Necessa, right? You got supposedly good writers on this, but I mean, they could have been, I think, a little bit more creative in this so-called changeover. And I think the last thing that people often say that, well, who came first? Was it Marvel's Secret Wars and their Battle World, which hasn't come out yet, or Legion and their Convergence, which is like Battle World but not? You know what I mean? Because What do you think about that? I mean, like, all the time, we've always seen these big event books, and Marvel and DC has always had the same event at the same time.
See, the problem with DC recently is they keep making last-minute decisions, so they don't plan things
Yeah,
out. Whereas when Marvel plans something, because I thought Superior Spider-Man sounded like a stupid idea, but they spent a lot of time developing the characters to make it work.
Well, that suggests that DC are panicking in some respect. You know, like kind of what do we do now? Whereas Marvel are a bit more relaxed about it because they've got maybe a better kind of idea of where they want to.
They have a better strategy than DC. DC seems to like just throw. We've got a gimmick. We'll throw the gimmick at these writers, see what's the best thing they can write. Whereas in Marvel, they says this isn't good enough. Make it better.
Yeah.
Then we'll release it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, something like that. You know what I mean? He said, "This isn't good enough. Let's make it better." Right?
You're fired. You're hired.
Yeah. Right? Can't teach you horror. So anyway, I mean, either way, I think the buzz in the air really is that Convergence is not working, and I still haven't seen the first Secret Wars yet, but I might just avoid it because of the way Convergence is. Because I mean, even the Beyonder doesn't have the mullet, so I mean, like, why do I care? You know, no mullet for the Beyonder.
Can I just get Masters of the Universe reference here? Do you know Skeletor is actually in Superman's universe as according to the New 52?
No.
In fact, one of the swords of power was in the bottled city of Kandor. It's true, because DC own the rights to He-Man, not the He-Man movie, the comics.
Are you trying to say that Superman is going to go up? Are you trying to say that Superman is going to go up to Eternia?
Oh, he's already been. He's been to Eternia.
Yeah,
that's why I don't read Superman. All right. So anyway. All right. Anyway. So Avengers. Waters.
Whoa!
Finally.
Excelsior.
Excelsior. What are you, the drunk Stanley? Excelsior. Anyway, so Avengers. First thoughts.
I think it's perhaps the sort of the most fun superhero movie ever made. I think it's got that kind of the same feeling of the Batman TV series in the 60s, the Superman Donner movies, and like a lot of the Marvel movies so far. But I think it's like echelons above everything else. I just think it really captures for me, the essence of what maybe a Marvel fan in the beginning. And there you go. There's my sermon delivered there.
I said first thought, so that means you enjoyed it.
I didn't like it. No, I loved it. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic.
I mean, highlight then.
The highlight for me, I think the highlight for me is because this is the character I look to the most is Banner and Hulk. So I feel sort of amazing that the character is finally getting his justice in the movies, if you know what I mean. After, kind of the Eric Banner angry film and then the Edward Norton film, which was okay. I think now they've got an actor in Ruffalo who is it really on the same track that Bill Bixby was with the Deadpool TV series.
Yeah.
And also writing in Josh Whedon, who loves the character and doesn't see the Hulk as anything lesser than the other characters, or it doesn't see him as like just a punchline for story. That for me, I think the development of Banner as a character and the Hulk as well, the realization too of the Hulk for me is just.
What about the love story?
Yeah, I think it's.
Do you believe that?
Do you believe that Scarlett Johansson would fall in love with Well, she fell in love with him, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he did.
No, it wasn't love.
It wasn't love.
It was just one time on the escalator.
Yeah, one time. One time on the escalator.
Yeah, I believe the relationship between Banner and Sasha and
it was nice. Yeah.
And that for me is just. But I mean, I love the whole thing. I can see why certain. I mean, Ian Salmon, for instance.
We'll get to this.
We'll get back to Ian Salmon in a second.
But what did you think about because it's a spoiler? I mean, what did you think about the denouement of it?
Kind of like the breaking it down and then leaving it.
No, the denouement meaning like how it ended for Banner and.
Well, I think that it's exciting for me because it's like that is Banner's plight, isn't it? It's like he sort of like snatches defeat from the jaws of victory. You know what I mean? That kind of, he's always going to be the Hulk is always going to be one step ahead of him and stuff like that. And I think done wrong, that could be. I mean, if it goes wrong, that could be very disappointing. But poignancy in the film with
yeah. I mean, because we know that this film was like Avengers disassembled.
Yeah.
You know, so we knew that the Avengers was going to break up and everything like that, you know, so that way we could get the old order changes, so to speak. But, like, I was expecting, right, which, and I'm going to say I was a little disappointed, but not disappointed to hate. I was expecting that, you know, they were going to send him off into space. So that way he ends up in Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it still was nice that, you know, like, he's like, you know what? You know, Stark screwed me once. That's okay. Screwed me twice. I'm out of here. You know.
Well, I mean, I don't know, the internet rumors. The Spider-Man film, Spider-Man, the new Avenger, it's going to be called. Is that the Hulk is going to be
Spider-Man, the new Avenger.
That's
the name.
That's the name of the film.
Oh God.
And the Hulk is going to be one of the main protagonists in it. And that's going to be Tony Stark is going to sort of put Peter Parker on a you know, a kind of assault course to become a superhero, and his first task is to control Hulk. So essentially, you've got Batman versus Superman. Soon you'll have Spider-Man versus Hulk on film with Iron Man in it. What do you think about that? I mean, I'm insanely excited, I must be honest.
I don't know where you hear that, and I gotta tell you, Manhad, you know, Jamie gets these so-called rumors and these things from people that he calls like friends, and like he comes up with these. Harry Knowles, ain't it cool news?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, anyway, yeah. You've had your time, buddy. You've had your time. You know, we'll get back to your Grey Hulk mystery in a minute.
Yes.
So, like, so Midhat. So, I mean, what did you think? What were your first thoughts? Because you said you were going to be negative, so
I have very negative.
Jackson ready to beat your butt.
I got issues with the film. Especially with the pacing. Pacing was like, because it didn't feel like it built enough tension for me at all. I decided to go watch it twice, right. Because the first time it just throws you into the action. It doesn't feel like it helped build up any tension for me. Maybe if it had like a little backstory of Black Widow first, and then slowly went into the action. I just didn't like how it just.
Why, you didn't want it to just jump into action?
No.
I wanted it to jump into action because I know who the Avengers are. You don't need to like give me any backstory.
Oh no, not on the actors themselves, not on the characters, but onto the story itself. Because suddenly we're just somewhere.
Well, I felt it did.
Well, yeah, because if you're following Agents of Shield, right, and you know that you know, like Shield is dissolved, you know, the Hydra is basically being cleaned up. That's what they were doing. They were on cleanup detail. So what they're doing is they're just jumping right into the action after Civil War. This is not after the Avengers where they all split up. And hey, you know, this is after Captain America does Civil War. The shield goes down, and he's like, "Look, guys, we got to clean this thing up." And they're going around the world cleaning up.
And plus, Roy Thomas.
You mean Civil War as in Captain America Civil
Excuse
War?
me. Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier.
Come on, you gotta follow me. You gotta follow me. This is after Winter Soldier, not after Avengers. So after Winter Soldier, Shield has gone down, and Cap is like, we gotta clean up all of these Hydra bases and everything like that. And he calls the Avengers. He puts out the call, and he calls the Avengers. So that's what they're doing. They're going around the world cleaning up.
That's right. Yeah. And I thought start with the action like that is like the sort of Roy Thomas said. You start with the big streets, keep the readers reading. And then they want to read the rest of it.
Well, I can see that. I can see that working in a comic form because that's what you need in a comic form.
There you go.
But I don't think it adapts that well into film, for me anyway. Because I felt like the pacing was like just bothering me throughout it. I didn't really enjoy it till it got to say after the fight on the highway. Mm-hmm. Once that started from that point till when the island exploded, I enjoyed that part. That part I was very happy with. Yeah. It's just like before it and just a bit after it.
Well, see,
it just bothered me.
I think that the actors are so charismatic. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. You could read the yellow pages and it has some kind of
language.
Mm-hmm. Yellow pages. I was left them out there. Yeah, that was great. All that little byplay between the characters was fantastic. I mean, Rhodey getting the, trying to make Thor laugh and Thor not getting the joke. I know that was fantastic.
Oh man, like Chris Hemsworth was amazing.
Oh, he's
amazing.
His look when Captain America almost.
I know. That's what I was gonna say. Is that acting? That's very subtle. His acting was pure gold in this movie because it wasn't just when Captain America did that, but it also was when this.
Slow burns.
Vision was a high point for me. Vision was amazing.
Right, so that's not a negative for you.
Oh no, Vision was great.
So there must be another negative because you said, you had problems. So was it just that action?
No, there was the pacing issues.
The pacing.
There was also,
I thought it was perfectly good.
No.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No. There was the pacing issues. Then there was too many action sequences.
Too many.
You can never have.
I say this too.
That's right. You can never have too many.
I think that it should work in beats. There should be 3 action sequences, 1 for each act.
Well, I mean, you're going to take into account that nothing like this has ever been attempted or made before. The pioneering what they're doing with the action genre and stuff. And plus, there's so many characters that you've got to serve, and action is the best way to do that. And
that's my other issue. There were too many subplots.
Too many.
Way too many. There was Black Widow and Hulk. There was Black Widow and herself. There was the Hulk and himself. There was Iron Man. There was Ultron. Hawkeye's family, which I personally found very boring.
Boring. It was bringing it down to earth. It was bringing the guys down to earth, really.
But it wasn't contained all those subplots. It's going through the entire cinematic universe. It's not like you kind of just saying it for the first time. There's hints in the other films and that. I think it's reaching. It's like, I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. I think it's reaching like a sort of nice momentum the way the films are going on.
I mean, for you, so for you, it's like the pacing, the too much action. What did you like?
Oh, what I like.
I
like Vision. I like everything from from after the second action, after the highway scene, when it exploded. I think the tension and the action worked well. Mm-hmm. I liked the jokes. The jokes were pretty funny. Captain America's action sequences were pretty fun as well. When he threw the motorcycle into the truck, that was hilarious. Yeah. Loved it.
I tell you what got me. Spoilers. When Scarlet Witch put the spell on Iron Man. Because a lot of the trailers are showing like
showing it dead. Yeah.
So I mean,
I'm kind of disappointed, weren't you?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be at the end, or like.
Yes, I know. And you thought like I did, where that was going to lead Captain America to Wakanda, to Black Panther, to fixing his shield.
Yeah, where's Black Panther?
Well, let me get to mine. All right. So I thought that first opening action sequence, especially with the whole spread of them all coming into screen, was very much like a video game. I mean, I thought I was looking at Star Wars on the Return of Endor. Which one is that? Empire Strikes Back, when they're on a speed bike speeding through the trees.
Oh, that's the last one.
The last one, Return of
the Jedi.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean the original. Anyway, so it felt like I was on Endor in that scene. I thought that it was very much being a filmmaker was very much like a video game. I mean, there weren't real people. It was just cartoony. Mm-hmm. But I didn't have a problem with it because, it should be. It's the Avengers. It should be big in scope. It shouldn't be just like regular guys in costume and flying around. So I was able to move past that reality, especially with the final group battle sequence around the thing, because that was awesome. That was freaking amazing. But that was all green screen. That wasn't no video game. That was kind of like shoot Thor, now shoot Iron Man, now shoot and then we'll overlay everybody all onto the same shot. Yeah. And that was phenomenal.
Well, I said to watching with Carmen, I said to I've got to get my breath back because I was exhilarated into the moment, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was just, that's what I go to see action movies for.
No. So the action to me was intensive. It was what was needed for an Avengers film. You could never use the word too big because then you're going to be like this palpitating when you see Infinity War when we get everybody else, right? Because it proved that they could do it. With that kind of a tapestry of a scene in that final battle, it proved that, I could see Doctor Strange there and Luke Cage over there, and I can see Spider-Man and all of that, Daredevil. I can see all of them all on the screen at once, so that brought back the faith in that. But then, let's go into, as far as the Vision, we haven't even talked about the twins.
Oh, right, yes.
And Vision. Now, I thought the accents were a little bit much.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It was a little bit, well, yeah, especially Aaron Taylor Johnson, you know, who's the luckiest kid in the world and everything like that. But, you know, what happened to him, we won't say. But, like, the whole thing about it is that, like, I thought that was a bit much. I thought that, like, they had a really good backstory to why they hated Stark in the Avengers. And it also was really good in setting up when they was telling Captain that, you know, Stark's got the robot or whatever.
Yeah.
And that was really good. I mean, you know, it's like, oh, maybe you're right. You know what I mean? And then they come in, and that was really cool. That was a really good lead up to the Civil War. That sequence. But then also, too was that where Ian, like I said, we bring him in. When in his complaints about the Vision, I think are ill-founded in the sense that, like, I love the way the outfit just kind of like slowly transformed into the Vision.
And
you know,
the cape was influenced by Thor when he's
I think that they, I don't know if they've experimented with it or not. He did look like a guy that was just kind of like on a sunbed in red, like you said. They could have tried to see what it looked like if they didn't give him eyes. You know, because the Vision doesn't have eyes, right? Yeah. They could have tried that because him with eyes makes him look too human.
So
you know, and he's not supposed to be human.
Do you mean like no eyes? Or like
yeah, Vision doesn't have eyes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
You know, does he? Look at the Vision doesn't have eyes in comics.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, there's another thing.
He's like that tornado. He doesn't have eyes.
It doesn't make sense to me that Ultron has lips. He's a robot.
Ultron has lips.
He's got lips. His mouth moves around. It just doesn't make sense.
Oh, you mean it should be?
It should not be moving around like this.
Yeah. It should be like.
It'd be like Bender of the Futurama.
Yeah, but that was
that's more acceptable to me.
Yeah, but that would also. I think they were probably taking a page out of Dark Knight Rises with Bane. You know, if they tried to do that whole reality, you know, thing of having like his mouth not move. That they were, I'm brave, Batman.
I would have been happy. No, you know the final body he was in. That was more of the classic Ultron design, and it was.
Well, his robots were more in that Ultron final because you can see, like, when you saw the Ultron bots, you can see the Ultron.
But also, he's creating his image in what he thinks the perfect kind of human being. You know what I mean? It's so Ultron is because being megalomaniacal wants to be human on some level, but he wants to be better than humans as well. You know that kind of thing.
But let's get back to the pet peeving. So Wakanda, right? So when they discovered Wakanda, I like everybody knew it. Wakadoo, Wakandesis, right? That's Wakandan, right? And we saw in the trailer, we saw that sexy, you know, I thought she was black, so people said that she was the Dora Milaje, you know, like when we saw the cesspool that story was supposed to be in. So, you know, you would think that as part of the cutting room floor, you know, did they somehow represent the Dora Milaje or Wakanda? So that's why we thought, everybody like you thought with the broken shield, Captain America would have to go and replace it. This is the only place where vibranium is. It was great to see Andy Serkis as our man Ulysses Claw.
Yeah. Very nice.
And nice how they allude to the Claw, right? Because he likes how they allude to the Claw because he loses his hand.
That's right, yeah.
And everything else like that, you know. So we'll see him again. But where were they supposed to be when Banner and Hulk fought in the Veronica outfit?
Was it Peru? Was it?
Well, no, it wasn't. They were black people. They were in Africa.
South Africa, then?
Well, I don't know. Well, it could have been Johannesburg as far as the actual filming, but it looked like it was supposed to be some African city. It wasn't supposed to be Wakanda because I was trying to tell Jackson Wakanda's in the jungle and it's all special. Yeah. But they were definitely in Africa. But, like, again, it was kind of like, you know, hey, come on, man, you've already hired Chadwick Boseman. You know, give me something. You know what I mean? Give me something.
Can I just ask you a question here, Sid, right? It's something that came up on the internet a few months back. I've been meaning to raise it with you. I said I was looking forward to the Black Panther movie, and someone said to me, that's terribly racist of you to refer to it as Black Panther.
What? You can't even call him African American Panther.
And if this person was white, I was going to get offended on behalf of an entire race of people.
I think he was taking a piss.
Okay,
But like,
really. That's what you're saying. They should call it Marvel's Panther. It just doesn't have the same ring to it. Black Panther.
You know what's funny, right? Back to the plug on history of comics, the 80s. Somebody had a picture of the origin of Black Panther where he's on the cover and he's taking off the mask, right? So he's half off the mask to show that he's black, right? As if, like, you know, people are like, oh, he's Black Panther's black. Whoa! When that happened, he's an Avenger, right?
My God! Black Lightning!
Yeah, he's black! Oh my God! Just prove he's black, he's gotta have a fro. Anyway, let's get back to the story. So back to the pet peeve. So then there was also the factor that now let me get to my ethnic pet peeves. So somebody says, hey, because Rhodey's only in that scene in the trailer, where they're trying to lift the hammer, and we seeing them fighting in the Avengers and all that, then Rhodey might have died. So he's probably one of the Avengers that died. You know what I mean? And but thankfully Rhodey, still shows up for the good fight. But we get a great cameo from Anthony Mackie as the Falcon.
Yeah.
Right? And he's like, yeah, man, I'm glad you got me off like looking for a ghost. Or I don't know, I'm looking for missing people, whatever he said to him.
Just keep me off the field. So I don't
exactly. But hello, we're fighting robots, right? That fly. Why is the Falcon not there?
Oh, exactly. I mean,
now you could say, okay, well, Falcon's not an Avenger, and he's my secret sidekick. You know what I mean? My special lover. But when the helicarrier shows up. How come the Falcon's not on it? Hey, Cap, I'm here to help you. Right? You know what I mean? Did you not think, where the hell is the Falcon?
Yeah, I absolutely did. I think the only thing I think is it was something to do with Anthony Mackie's availability. Maybe they got.
I can only show up this one day, Cap. Not when the fight's on, but
I'll come at the end where I say I'm going the B team.
Well, we'll get to the B team point, but but it's because that I'm thinking, well, hey, it's like, where's he at? So anyway, so that was another pet peeve. So final one was this old order change of which was excellent, with the B team and everything else like that. And thankfully, you didn't need Henry Gyrick to say, all right, well, we've got 7 people and we need somebody of diversity, so let's get the Falcon. Anybody remember that one in the comics? And Hawkeye's like, what the
I've missed that, man,
all he does is talk to birds! I love that. That was one of the best moments in comics.
The exposition there.
We
need another member. Get me Black Widow on that kind of thing. Signpost.
Wait, she's black. No, give me the one that's not black. Get it? Black Widow's not black. So Black Panther's black. There's some racism going on.
I'm saying I'll get rotted if I say anything change.
Yeah, you would. So my final point was cutting off the freaking line I'm waiting for 5 years.
That was funny.
That was not funny, Josh Whedon. Hold it, Whedon. That was not funny. And I bet you in America that it's playing. Right? For some strange, stupid reason, right? There's some dumbheaded marketing who says, in the UK marketing says, hey, we can't call this the Avengers, right? Because people will think it's Steed. So we have to call it Avengers Assemble. Okay, it's not called that in America, it's just the Avengers. And this is called the Avengers Age of Ultron. So it's not called Avengers Assemble Age of Ultron, it's called Avengers Age of Ultron. But we all know, everybody freaking knows, that Cap, especially now that there's a new order changes, when Cap walked into that room, I'm like, I'm waiting for it. And then everybody's remember in the comics, they would do that in the comics, where people would be sitting there with their bowl of cereal, they'd be going, yeah, right? Go ahead, say it. In the Truman Show, right? Where the guy's sitting in the back, and then all of a sudden, he goes, Avengers! I'm saying it loud, damn it. right? Because we're going to say it all here when we end this show. We are going to say that line that should have been said in the movie, just so that way you can hear it.
That's like, Luke, I am your thing.
He just calls off when he says, Luke, I am your
That's just kind of like the Hulk getting hit like off, like, you know,
Exactly.
what's going on? Seriously, what's happening?
He's gonna go and take it to the projector.
So somebody please, Mid-Hot, somebody please explain to me, why did they do that?
Well, Joss Whedon did this once before.
In the last one.
Last episode of Angel.
Yeah.
Where they were about to fight the dragon, and then they cut off.
Yeah.
He did that in Bunny.
Bunny?
Bunny? Bunny? They did that in Buffy. They did that in Buffy where she ended up, when the Hellmouth, opened up and everything like that, and then at the end. So Joss Whedon, he likes to be premature in his cutoffs. Yeah. What's up with that, man? What are you trying to say, Josh? Seriously, is that a technique?
He certainly goes on Jeremy when it comes to.
He certainly goes on Jeremy when it comes to. Because he's probably saying, look, I know what it is, guys. I know you know what it is. But I paid you my money. You better give it to me. You know what I'm saying? Just say it. That's what you want. I mean, that's how it is in the comics. Cap comes out for the press conference, and they go, you think you're going to say it? Yeah, son, watch this. You were here when he said it. And it's like, cut.
It's like the moon landing. You're waiting for it. Yeah, exactly. And
One small
dude, we lost it.
Oh my God! All right, Jackson, go ahead. Your final thoughts, and we'll cut the show and say the line.
I have got loads of favourite parts. I've only got one negative about it.
Favorite parts.
Alright, favourite part. Well, I like the part when they're trying to lift Thor's hammer.
Yeah.
And I like that part with Quicksilver when Quicksilver was running to Thor and Thor's hammer. And then I like that part where Vision lift Thor's hammer and everyone was like. Anyway, moving on.
Anyway, yeah, right. When he gives him the handbrake, he's like, okay.
Look at Jack Benny's slow burn.
Well, he did the same thing when he was talking about the girls, how successful their girls was, and he goes, yeah, but Jay's better.
I thought it was such a handle thing. When Cap moved it just a bit, I thought the end of this film's going to be he has to lift the other kind of. And I was convinced this is where they're going, so I was kind of.
Well, yeah. I think they did in the comics. I think Cat did lift the hammer in the comics and stuff like that. I'm not sure and everything, but but it is funny how when he says, "Well, the answer is you're all not worthy," and Cat definitely is worthy, so he's worthy enough to lift the hammer. The Cat probably did lift it and say, "Yeah, I'll leave it."
Yeah.
He probably lifted it.
I like that.
He probably all right. So
how did you lift that? You could always lift it.
Exactly. I love it how the hammer was just a way of playing baseball. Though I'll throw the shield and I'll hit it. Thor was very good at tennis. Hey, you know what I mean? So wait. You had a negative though. What was your negative though?
Yeah. I thought Thor was gonna die. No, I didn't want Thor to die. I was expecting someone else to die, but I was not expecting Quicksilver to die.
And of course, he just introduced him, hadn't he?
Yeah, no, I thought.
Did you feel like they killed him too soon?
No. I know why they killed Quicksilver. All right? I mean, we're already in the spoiler zone. I know why. Because Evan Peters was so successful in the X-Men. And they know that he's coming back in Apocalypse. That Whedon was like, you freaking guy singer. You know what I mean? You knew I had my Quicksilver, and then you just going to piss all over him. Because if you think about it, right? I was specifically looking for the special stunts for Quicksilver. You know what I mean? I was looking for the effects, and actually they weren't better than Singer's. You know what I mean?
Even the Flash TV, that kind of thing.
Yeah, Flash is better than Quicksilver. So you got a whack ass you got not very good effects, and so you just kind of like, all right, yeah, he could die, but he was the person nobody expected to die.
Yeah.
And that was also the thing too. He was the person nobody expected to get it. So I mean, like in that aspect is that it was a surprise where you go, oh, and it was kind of tender too. It was good. It was really good. It was a really good moment and stuff. So, but as far as Thor, I agree with you because we know that Thor's next film is Ragnarok, right? So we know he's ended up gonna go down to the land of the dead or Hela and on all that kind of stuff. That it would have made sense if Thor had died.
Yeah.
But then then we wouldn't have gotten that great Trinity ending. Which I thought was really nice, and for the Avengers to discover the Infinity Stones and all of that other kind of stuff. So, So I mean, that was all good. So I mean, so this was a complete, spoilery, type of Avengers, but I thought it was really good. Yeah, exactly. I thought it was
all
good.
three of you,
including
me.
No, wait a minute. All two of you because one of them's here.
That's right.
And that's what you gotta do. You gotta show up. So that way, nobody's watching the show but us.
This chase is like, no, it really likes with George Allison and Ringo Starr, mate, and he still calls it the Beatles. No, without Ian and James.
Yeah, exactly.
We're at
Fab Four.
Yeah, we're at an Abbey Road period already. We've only been gone for like 6 months.
Yeah, right. So Brooks Banks is walking around with no shoes. Right. So that makes sense.
Actually, yeah. On a zebra crossing.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, so that ends that about the Avengers, and I think it's a fantastic movie. It's something that worth seeing again. You saw it twice, you said, and everything. But like before we ended, it's like, did you have any highlights from the award show or the going? I mean, the being in the same space with the Avengers in real life and everything like that. Besides Scarlet Upskirt. Did you?
I also saw the Robert Downey Jr. go up the escalator as well.
Well, we don't.
But I didn't meet him last
year.
year.
That's the thing. We don't care. But no. I mean,
I have to say, watching Chris Hemsworth walking the red carpet, he's much prettier in person.
Oh well.
He's a very pretty guy.
He is pretty tall though as well, right?
He's tall, but he's very pretty.
Do you know
His
Chris
face.
Hemsworth has actually got out of the most probably.
That's why he wanted to be the female Thor.
Well, yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, maybe like Bruce Jenner, that kind of thing.
No.
He just sit down with Diane Sawyer and no, anyway. But the thing is with Chris Hemsworth, he's got perhaps the most difficult task of all the actors, and that they came from like theatre or film. He came from
Australia.
He came from a village in Australia.
Yeah. No, wait. Was he on Neighbours?
No, Home and Away he was.
Oh,
and then he won Dancing with the Stars, or they just
yeah.
And then
Home and Away is not a bad show.
It's okay,
for what it is.
Yeah, for Insomniac, so
Aussie soap. Yeah. But yeah, no. So he was on Home and Away, but his brothers weren't. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Liam Hemsworth. Well, yeah, Liam Hemsworth. I don't mean to do this again, Shakes, but he's going to be playing He-Man in the Masters of the Universe movie. They offered Chris Hemsworth $50 million, but he was like, I can't play Thor and He-Man,
Thank you, Chris. You were smart and not greedy.
He got Liam his
but my brother can. That's what he said. But my brother can. That's how he did it.
Chad Lowe of our family.
Chad Lowe.
Rob Lowe kissed Snow White.
That's a good one, Jamie. So anyway, I would have cut there actually, but I actually want to cut on like that final statement, that we didn't get in the movie. So I want to first thank Minaj for coming along and everything. Hopefully you come back again. I want to thank Bixby for returning from his Coke run. And then sorry, I said it last week.
That's what happened in the podcast industry.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah,
Before and after to get us to this state.
Alright, anyway, and of course I want to thank Jackson for his little jokes. But either way, is that it's just not the old order changes because the new order will be back and everything. But you still can feel free to come along and join us in that. So as they say in the Avengers, Avengers. There you go.